All right, so last we have seen, high availability topology. This was working well. And just right now we have checked which one is our active one. So this is active participant and this one is a standby participant. So now we are going to see now today's concept, that is gracious ARP. Okay, so gracious ARPs could means both gracious ARP request or gracious ARP reply. It mean not just ARP, but it conclude both. Okay, gracious ARP request and reply both. Okay, not just request or not just reply, it means to both. All right, so the gracious ARP solutions actually is what, and what this problem is. So this solution means, let's say this utility, when you move one IP from on one NIC network interface card from one machines to the other machines. So other machines ARP table that content MAC associated with that also will change. So when cluster need to move one IP address to the different NIC, then be it not on same machine or it is on the different machine, so it becomes very difficult to recognize them. All right, again my pen will not work here, so what I need to do, leave this. Okay, now my pen is working. Okay, so let me explain you what I mean to say about this gracious ARP and what this technology is. This is very important, very important and very crucial thing, asked in so many different interviews as well, and technically also it's powerful logic and concept. Okay, so let's assume here this client, this user one is accessing internet, let's say maybe any destination 8.8.8.8. So this guy is trying to reach this one. Okay, it is reaching with this interface and its MAC address is, let's say, AXX. Okay, so when it builds a connection, so its connection table will have, this connection table will have a entry of these MAC address. Okay, for this particular source. The source will have a entry with AXX MAC address. And in between, assume that your this gateway fail. Automatically, this source will start moving to the internet through this gateway. But this gateway's MAC is BXX. But when these two guys, when these two firewalls syncing their connection table, so this existing connection table has got this entry, but now your MAC address has been changed, since this network card is different, this network card is a different. So obviously when NIC is changing, your MAC address also will change. All right, your MAC address also will be changed. So when the cluster need to move the one IP to the different NIC, be it on the same machine or a different one, okay, it reconfigure the NIC appropriately, then broadcast the gracious ARP request to inform the neighbors machines about changing the MAC address. All right, so when your connections move to the another NIC card, this is failed, so your connections will move here. So this particular device will advertise its new MAC address for that cluster IP address. Which cluster IP address? 1.130 का अभी बाइंडेड मैक एड्रेस क्या है? एक्टिव का मैक एड्रेस। एक्टिव कौन है आपका? ये 100 एक्टिव है, तो 100 एक्टिव का मैक एड्रेस इसके साथ बाइंड होगा, कौन सा? AXX। अब जब ये फेल हो गया तो 130 पर आने वाली क्वेरी AXX यहां पर जाएगी, ये तो फेल हो गया, तो इसका मैक एड्रेस अब रिप्लेस करना चाहिए BXX से। तो ये क्या करेगा? क्लस्टर क्या करेगा? सारे कंप्यूटर्स को रिप्लाई सेंड करता है, हे माय मैक इज चेंज्ड 1.10.1.1.30, I am 10.1.1.30 and my MAC address is now BXX, for example. Okay, so it advertise its own MAC address. It broadcast gracious ARP reply to inform neighboring machines about changing the MAC for that IP address. Okay, उस IP address का अब नया MAC address क्या है वो advertise करता है, that is gracious ARP. So machines receives ARP packet, then update their ARP table. अब इसको पता चल इसके टेबल में अभी क्या एंट्री है? इसके टेबल में एंट्री है 10.1.1.130 is equal to AXX. इसके ARP टेबल में ये एंट्री है। ओके, अब ये क्या करेगा? जैसे इसको ARP रिप्लाई मिलता है, ये क्या कर देगा? इसका मैक एड्रेस, ओ यू आर गॉन नाउ, इट विल स्टोर दिस, इट विल remove this entry and put the new entry. All right, so this machine receives ARP packet and update their ARP table with the new MAC address what it is receiving as an gracious ARP reply. So remember, if you have a 5,000 users in the networks and your cluster mapping map changed, okay, then अब यहाँ पर आपका एक यूजर है, assume that you have a 5,000 users in your network, okay, thousands of users in your network. And remember, if you have these many users in your network and your cluster mapping map is changed, when all your 5,000 users has to update with new MAC address, until the time your network will be down. Until this computer is receiving a reply and changing the ARP table, that until that time your network will be down. जब तक सारे क्लाइंट्स अपना नया मैक एड्रेस अपडेट नहीं कर लेते तब तक वो क्लाइंट डाउन रहेंगे। फॉर एग्जांपल, इसके पीछे और एक राउटर और एक स्विच और एक डिवाइसेस है, मल्टीपल हब्स नेट बिहाइंड द नेटवर्क्स हैं, तो क्या होगा? उस डिवाइस तक अपडेट जाने, एआरपी अपडेट को अपडेट होने के लिए टाइम लग जाएगा, तब तक आपका नेटवर्क डाउन ही रहेगा, तब तक वो क्लाइंट जो क्लाइंट अपडेट नहीं होंगे, द ऑल क्लाइंट्स वुड बी डाउन. So we can avoid this using virtual MAC address concept in checkpoint क्लस्टरिंग. तो इसमें क्या होता है, बाय डिफॉल्ट यदि हम कुछ नहीं करते हैं, बाय डिफॉल्ट क्लस्टरिंग रन करते हैं, तो ये उस इंटरफेस का फिजिकल एड्रेस मैप होता है, जो एक्टिव है उसका मैक एड्रेस इस क्लस्टर आईपी एड्रेस के साथ वीआईपी के साथ मैप रहेगा. तो इससे ये प्रॉब्लम आता है. इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं? जैसे ये वर्चुअल आईपी हमने यूज किया है वीआईपी, वैसे ही वीमैक यूज करेंगे, वर्चुअल मैक. Similar way, we can map with the VMAC, virtual MAC address. Okay, so now in virtual MAC concept, if one interface fail, okay, so this virtual MAC would be binded with this interface. So when this interface will fail, it will move to the other interface, but that virtual interface will remain same. All right, so means your users need not to update ARP table when any of the gateway fail. तो वर्चुअल मैक एड्रेस सेम ही रहेगा. तो ये सारे कंप्यूटर्स ने एक बार ये वी मैक लर्न कर लिया इस आईपी एड्रेस के लिए, इसके टेबल में ये है, तो ये गेटवे फेल होने दो या ये गेटवे फेल होने दे, गेटवे स्विच ओवर होंगे, तब भी क्लाइंट्स को अपना वर्चुअल मैक एड्रेस जो है वो अपडेट नहीं करना पड़ेगा. क्लाइंट कंप्यूटर्स need not to have this, because this virtual MAC address will be same whether whichever router it goes through. Okay, understood now? Fine. अब इसको यदि आपको देखना है कि कैसे ये काम कर रहा है, ग्रेसियस ARP कैसे वर्क करता है और क्या हो रहा है इसके बिहाइंड, if you want to see, you can see that. Look at this. Which one is this? So I don't need management anymore. Okay, so I can close this. I will use this. I need this too, guys. So look at this. Admin 123. Check it. CPHA, checkpoint high availability probe. Okay, and state. All right, so you have active this one. Okay, now show interface. uh, Interface, which one is Ethernet 1. So if I go to this, what is my MAC address? 0001. That's your address, right? So I don't need this one because I am local. My local is standby. So no, so I need not to check that standby क्योंकि अभी इस client के पास किसका MAC address होगा? Active वाले का होगा. Look at this. Okay, if I go and check, it will have an active MAC address. So let's check. Your one is active, right? So let's go here. CPHA probe and state. So if I check here, my active is this one. Okay, so iska MAC address. Show interface Ethernet 1. So look at this 50 00001 0001. All right. So if I go here and check CMD ping, so it is reaching internet. Okay, now it means that ARP table is built. So ARP-A. Now if I check 130, I'm concerned with this. Okay, so all right, so I'm concerned with this 130, this one. So this 130 is equal to, look at this, 50 0001 0001. This is understood. So it is mapped with mapped with which MAC address? It is mapped with these guys MAC address. Which one? This इसका MAC address है, इसके साथ mapped है. Okay, अब हम क्या करते हैं, इसको बंद कर देते हैं. Okay, I can stop. How I can stop it? Yesterday I told you the command. You need to go into expert. I want to disable high availability there. So admin 123, I can do like this, and I can do cluster Excel and admin, and I can do down. Okay, so इसको डाउन कर दिया मैंने, 1 को डाउन कर दिया, तो अब एक्टिव कौन हो जाएगा? एक्टिव आपका 2 हो जाएगा. Look at this here. Okay, now your active is this one. This guy is inactive now. Look at this. Now show. Oh, already it is there, the command. Now look at this. 50 0002 and 0001. So this is a MAC address. Now let us check on the client. What is that? You need to refresh it once again. एक बार पिंग करके देख लो. अभी switch over नहीं हुआ है. Okay. Now do you see, guys? Do you see the here? Do you see what is happening here? Do you see this 130 is equal to what is now? Now it is this one, 2.101. So look at this. So you are switched up. You are switched with the other one. Getting my point? सो ये उसने क्या किया, ग्रेसियस ARP रिप्लाई किया कि हे मेरा मैक एड्रेस चेंज हो गया, सारे क्लाइंट अपनी ARP टेबल अपडेट कर लो. उस तरह से इसने अपडेट कर लिया. अब 2 हो गया. पहले यहाँ पे क्या था 30. देखो लास्ट एंट्री, देखो ये 30 की लास्ट एंट्री. यहाँ पर क्या है 1 वाला है, 10001. दिस इज अ प्रॉब्लम. सो इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए हम और नई चीज यूज कर सकते हैं, वर्चुअल मैक एड्रेस यूज कर सकते हैं. अब देखते हैं कैसे काम करता है. So already I have disabled one. Let me make it up again. I can just do it up. Okay, now you can check it out here. सो क्या ये वापस से वन एक्टिव हो जाएगा? नहीं, कल मैंने बताया था कि जो एक बार एक्टिव है वो वही एक्टिव रहेगा। जब तक वो फेल नहीं होता है, वो अपना एक्टिव रोल दूसरे को पास ऑन नहीं करता है। सो योर टू विल बी एक्टिव नाउ until your 2 is not failing. Perfect. So now gracious ARP, अब देखते हैं वर्चुअल मैक एड्रेस का कंसेप्ट क्या है। सो अब मुझे ग्रेसियस ARP कॉन्फ़िगर करना है, मींस आई वांट दैट इट शुड यूज वर्चुअल मैक एड्रेस। सो व्हाट आई नीड टू डू, go here, gateway and servers, and go to the property of this cluster. Go here. Okay, and then where you need to go cluster axle. यहाँ पर देख लो, बाकी की चीजें मैं explain करता हूँ. General, you go general and you see your cluster IP address. What is your cluster IP? It's 1.130. That's cool, nothing much here. Cluster members, who are the member of this cluster? These two guys are there. Okay, अभी वो किस बेस पर काम कर रहे हैं? प्लस right now they are working based on the auto process, active ones. They do not change switch over. देखो, इसको बाहर मैंने चेक किया तो प्रायोरिटी नहीं है. Okay, when I can set and define the priority to anyone else. Okay, मैं चाहता हूं कि हमेशा ये gateway 1 ही एक्टिव रहे. So I can define a priority. I can set them a priority. I can do netting here as well. Okay, so यहाँ से priority increase decrease priority, अभी priority configured नहीं है. If I click outside somewhere and check it out, so I have no priority. देखो दोनों disable है. ओके, अब इसको मैं प्रायोरिटी यदि इंक्रीज डिक्रीज कर दूं, तो जिसको ऊपर रखूंगा उसकी प्रायोरिटी हाई है, समझ लो. whoever is on the top having the higher priority, remember that. यहाँ पर नंबर नहीं दिखता है कोई, but whichever is on the top has got a higher priority. You can change. Okay, now go here. This is your important tab for virtual Mac configuration. This is everything. High availability. और यहीं पे सिंपल सा एग्जांपल है, लोड बैलेंसिंग करना है तो ये कर दो, इतने से चेक मार्क पर वो प्रैक्टिकल है, मैं अभी भी दिखा दूंगा. Okay, so this is, now look at this. What I want, only check this one, that's it. Use virtual MAC address and that's all. Nothing else you need to do. Only do this and finish. Say okay. बहुत बड़ा कंसेप्ट, बहुत यूजफुल कंसेप्ट है, बट का उसका कॉन्फ़िगरेशन जस्ट एक सिंगल क्लिक पर है. इंस्टॉल, पब्लिश, परफेक्ट, इंस्टॉल. Okay, I have said that. Done. Now let's go and check. Okay, ये पिंग हो रहा है, पिंग हो रहा है भाई. अब मैं ARP टेबल चेक करता हूँ क्या क्या हो गया उसके अंदर. Do you see the magic now? What is that? Do you see what is happening here? Guys, look at this. This is 130. Let me redraw it again. Okay, look at this. This is 130. This is 130, and what it has? This one. This is virtual default, something new, crazy it has created. Perfect. Something new it has created. अब देखो क्या होता है. अब मैं डाउन करता हूं किसी को. लेट मी मेक दैट. यहां पर चेक कर लो. Who is active now? Your active is in 100. Active is 101. Great. 101 is active. That means 2. This guy is an active. Look at this. This local is active. So what I'll do, expert admin 123 cluster axle admin and down. I made it down. तब भी देखना वो change नहीं होगा. It will not change. Now look at this. Now let me check it here. Now who is? Now 100 is active. पहले 100, पहले 101 active था. Look at this. Now 100 is active. So let's check. Let's check here. What is that? Okay, it will just learn check. Let's check the ARP table. Khalas. So it's not changing. Whatever it is, it's not changing. So whoever is active, it's still not changing. Perfect. Your Mac is not changing. Now I'm making this is down. So now I'm making this is up, and this is 2. Okay, this is 2. I made 2 up and I'll make 1 down. अभी ये 1 ही एक्टिव रहेगा तो मैं 1 को डाउन कर देता हूँ. Expert admin 123 and look at this cluster axle admin and down. Okay, exit and look at this. Now who is this one is active now. Look at this an impact on the client. Look at the impact on the client. I am pinging, I am connecting. Now if I check the ARP, look at this. Does it changed? Does your ARP MAC address is changing? No. which अभी तो बदल गया ना, एक्टिव मैंने दूसरा कर दिया फोर्सफुली, तब भी चेंज नहीं हो रहा है. दैट इज योर वर्चुअल मैक एड्रेस. This is virtual MAC address logic. Now let me enable the cluster Excel again. On 1, expert admin 123 cluster Excel admin and up. Perfect. So that was virtual things. Okay, so we have seen now how it works and how we can check out all those things. Yesterday I have shown you some commands as well, like state command already we have seen. Now we can check out the role also, or you can put it role. Okay, look at this. 2 is master, 1 is non-master. Okay, master means active, rest all non-master. Okay, I can check table state as well. Do you have this table state? Yeah, this is a table state as well. Khalas this. Okay, so unique IP table. So whichever new IP addresses it is learning, it is putting into this table, and the interface, which IP addresses learn on which interface, it is telling you. And member, which member, through which member it has learned, that is also. Okay, if you want to show cluster members interfaces, so my cluster members are connected on which interface, so you can check like what was that command, IGMP. Okay, look at this here. So this is gateway 1, Ethernet 0. This is my default address. So look at this. It will take this first as an class D address. Class D is for multicasting, so it will take class D, and rest IP address it will keep as it is. This is all your host group address, multicast address for that particular host group. Okay, CP prob, you can check list also. Okay, so the list command will tell you if there is any problem, if any problem. So right now there is no problem. Now I can check fw command, you have to run from the expert mode. Okay, so this is not active, active is this one, so I will run from here. Okay, so this local is inactive now, so here I can check, let's say fwctl, yesterday also I have shown you, and p state. These all are the packets and fragmentations and things are showing here, sync and everything. Okay, now that's all. Now if you want to check out the load balancing method, so already I have explained you yesterday. So load balancing, so load balancing method, it's use method, active member will handle 30% load and the other member will handle 70%. Why active member will handle less? Because active member is responsible to handle your cluster also. Okay, so active member election, as I said, based on the highest priority only, and gateway with the highest priority always will become active. So active gateway also handles pivot table. Pivot table means which is storing the informations about your cluster members, which is active, which is not active, which is internal VIP, which is external VIP, and all those things. Okay, so when I initiate any traffic from any clients, it will first go to pivot, means an active member, and active member will decide how it should be distributed. Okay, so that is, and that traffic distribution method is based on the source MAC address, based on the destination MAC address, and so on. Okay, now configuration is very simple. Okay, let's see how to do it. So this is cluster, just double click to go to property, then you need to go load sharing, you need to choose load sharing. Which method you want to use? Unicast. So here I need to use unicast method. Okay, so once I use unicast, this is log. Now virtual MAC I will remove. What, based on what? So based on IP, based on port, based on source IP. This option, if I choose based on the IP, based on the port. This option, if I choose, that is based on the IP address only. You must have seen VRRP or HSRP load balancing method. So this is similar to that. So let's choose, let it be default one, whatever I have. Okay, and if I click on sticky decision functions, that means whichever is the first method I have choose, that will be fixed. Okay, now I can say okay, install. Okay, done. Now let's see. Now look at this. Both are active. Both are active. But the first one would be pivot. Pivot, that means it will have a cluster table and everything. So this will have 30% traffic and other one will have a 70% traffic. This is how you can check on two also. CPHA probe state. Look at this. So this one is an active pivot and this one is active 3070. Okay, now I want 101 as a pivot. So how I can do it? I will just increase the priority. I will go here, members. Now look at this. यहाँ पर प्रायोरिटी काम करता है, तो ये आपका टॉप पर है 101, इसलिए वो एक्टिव है. देखो 100 इज एक्टिव पायोट, क्योंकि वो ऊपर है. अब मैं इसको करता हूँ, इसकी प्रायोरिटी इंक्रीज कर देता हूँ. इंक्रीज हो गई, इसकी प्रायोरिटी इंक्रीज हो गई. ओके किया, इंस्टॉल किया. यू नीड टू इंस्टॉल एवरी टाइम व्हेनेवर यू डू एनी चेंज. अभी देखो 100 आपका एक्टिव पायोट है. अब जैसे ये कंप्लीट होता है, मैं उसको कमांड चेंज रेफ्रेश करूंगा. हो गया. नाउ लेट मी चेक. नाउ लुक एट दिस. अब कौन बन गया? यहाँ पर देखो 100 एक्टिव है. अब कौन बन गया? 101 एक्टिव बन गया. So this is how I can change it by priority, by increasing priority. Okay, अब देखो यहाँ पर मैंने एक चीज बताई थी. Use sticky decision. What is that? If I check this, what happen? If I don't check this, what happen? Let me take you here. अब इसमें इस मोड में आपके दोनों ही गेटवे क्या है? एक्टिव है. Okay, your both the gateways are active. This is also active. This is also active. So when this client want to go to some destination, okay, कहीं पर भी ये communicate करना चाह रहा है, तो इसका कोई पैकेट इसके थ्रू चला जा रहा है, कोई पैकेट इसके थ्रू चला जा रहा है, कभी इसके थ्रू चला जा रहा है, कभी इसके थ्रू. कब कौन सा सीक्वेंस मिलेगा पता नहीं. कभी ए के थ्रू जा रहा है, कभी बी के थ्रू जा रहा है. तो ये यदि कोई सिक्योर वीपीएन या कुछ सिक्योर कम्युनिकेशंस कनेक्ट कर रहा है, उसका सेशन पहला इसके थ्रू चला गया, दूसरा इसके थ्रू आ गया, तो वो डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाएगा, क्योंकि वो देख रहा है कि आपका सेशन चेंज कर रहा है मैक एड्रेस. तो मैं क्या चाहता हूं कि ये क्लाइंट एक बार इसके थ्रू गया तो हमेशा इसके थ्रू ही जाए, इसके थ्रू ही जाए. ये दूसरा क्लाइंट एक बार इसके थ्रू गया तो हमेशा इसके थ्रू ही जाए. सो मैं उसको क्या कर, दैट इज अ स्टिकी फंक्शन, जो सिक्योरिटीज और वीपीएन के लिए बड़ा यूजफुल होता है. ओके, तो उसके लिए मैं क्या करूंगा, यहां पर ये स्टिकी ऑप्शन इनेबल कर दूंगा, बस इतना सा. अब ये स्टिकी इनेबल कर दिया तो एक बार एक क्लाइंट किसी एक गेटवे से जाएगा तो वो उसी गेटवे से हमेशा जाएगा, उसके सारे पैकेट उसी गेटवे से जाएंगे, सो दैट योर कम्युनिकेशंस ऑलवेज वुड बी प्रॉपर. ओके, अब
और सर
आपके,
वो गेटवे डाउन हुआ है तो फिर?
अरे डाउन हो गया तब तो जाएगा ही भाई. जब डाउन नहीं है तब की बात है, दोनों एक्टिव एक्टिव है तब की बात है.
ओके ओके.
ऑलराइट. यस. So that's all. Now you can check out the logs also. You can go to security policies. Okay, now look at this here. You can add some filters here and add control filter. ओके, अब आप यहाँ पर टाइप कंट्रोल टाइप के रूल्स चेक कर सकते हो, तो उससे रिलेटेड भी आपको क्वेरीज और लॉग्स दिखेंगे. सो अब आपको क्लस्टर से रिलेटेड यहाँ पर ये क्लस्टर रिलेटेड लॉग्स दिखते रहेंगे. जब भी कोई स्विच और होगा, कुछ भी होगा, तो व्हेन यू डबल क्लिक ऑन दिस यू विल हैव ए क्लस्टर मेंबर. कौन सा मेंबर है, हु इज एक्टिव, हु इज स्टैंड बाय, ये यहाँ से भी आपको दिख जाएगा. सो इस तरह से लॉग इनेबल कर सकते हो. ये क्लस्टर से रिलेटेड कैसे, टाइप पर राइट क्लिक करो, यहाँ से ऐड फिल्टर ऐड कर दो, तभी आपको कंट्रोल आएगा. और ये कंट्रोल को ऐड कर दो यहाँ से, एंड यू विल हैव द कंट्रोल ऑप्शन देयर. टाइप कंट्रोल भी दिखेंगे इसमें. और ये लॉग से भी आप देख सकते हो कौन एक्टिव है, कौन स्टैंड बाय है. ओके, और ये क्लस्टर से रिलेटेड और भी यदि कोई कस्टमाइज्ड लॉग यदि आप देखना चाहते हो, करना चाहते हो, तो यू कैन गो टू मॉनिटरिंग. ओके, यहाँ पर देखो ये ऑप्शन है एक, यहाँ पर जाओ. Where is that? It is not showing here. Not here. You need to go here. देन गो टू न्यू टैब हियर, एक प्लस पे क्लिक कर दो नए टैब पे, और यहाँ पर देखो एक्सटर्नल ऐप है, क्लिक ऑन दैट, which is bringing up you. Look at this, checkpoint product trial period will expire in 9 days. Okay. ओके अब यहाँ पर देखो आपके जो गेटवे हैं, अभी आपका कौन एक्टिव है? योर एक्टिव इज 101, दैट मीन्स 2, सो 2 पर मैं क्लिक करता हूँ, जिसको किसी को भी मॉनिटर करना है. एंड हियर यू हैव ए क्लस्टर एक्सेल, यू कैन गो हियर क्लस्टर एक्सेल and see here you can see the same thing, same GUI based logs, your interfaces, your there's all status synchronizations is okay, filter is okay, routed CP HAD FWD is all services and everything is okay. If any problem is any of these things, you will have that things here. ओके दैट्स ऑल, यही था. अब इसके अलावा आपको यदि कुछ देखना है तो यूनिकास्ट मेथड मैंने बताया. अगेन प्रॉपर्टी में जाओ, जनरल, लोड बैलेंसिंग, मल्टीकास्ट. तो मल्टीकास्ट में क्या होता है? 50-50 इक्वल टू, बस इतना ही है, इसमें और कुछ नहीं है. एवरीथिंग वुड बी 50-50.
इसमें एडवांटेज क्या है मल्टीकास्ट और यूनिकास्ट में? एडवांटेज और डिसएडवांटेजेस क्या होता है ये मल्टीकास्ट है यूनिकास्ट से?
इसका डिसएडवांटेज ये है कि सारे अपडेट सभी को जाएंगे. सारा आईपी एड्रेस क्लाइंट का जो भी क्वेरी आएगा, ARP क्वेरी, दैट विल गो टू एवरीवन. ओके, सो every gateway will listen to that broadcast. All right, so if anytime when any query come for 130, it will go to this also, it will go to this also. So if you have a 10 members in your cluster, every time that ARP query will go to everyone. Okay, that ARP queries always will go to both. Okay, but in unicast only Piot, only this will get updates and then it will sync to the other members. That ARP broadcast will not go to everyone. ARP broadcast will never go to everyone. That is the advantage. That is only the difference in between these two methods. So let's go and check now. What is this? CPHA probe and state. Look at this. Now both are 50-50. So both will have, there will be no pivot table. So every device, every active device will independently listen the ARP table and update its own. All right, so that was perfect. So both are handling 50-50, but only your ARP broadcast is increasing little more as comparatively. Rest everything is good. All right, guys. So any queries? Anyone has got any queries in this?